These days, lots of shoppers are on the hunt for value, and many are finding it at growing grocery store chain Aldi.
Seriously, Aldi, if you see this, God bless you, because you are really helping me work on a budget as far as my groceries.
Why are Kroger, Walmart, and Publix all quietly studying the same store right now? Because Aldi just made a series of moves that no traditional grocery chain saw coming. And the implications for every shopper's weekly bill are more significant than any pricing announcement any major retailer has made in the past decade. What happened is not a sale. It is not a promotion. It is a permanent structural shift that is making grocery executives genuinely nervous. 10 moves. Starting right now. Number 10. Aldi expanded its fresh produce section by 40% nationwide. For years, the knock on Aldi from shoppers who preferred conventional grocery stores was consistent. The prices are great, but the produce section is too small. The selection is too limited. The freshness cannot compete with a full-service grocery chain that receives daily produce deliveries and employs dedicated produce staff. Aldi just made every one of those objections obsolete. A 40% expansion of the fresh produce section across Aldi locations nationwide is not a cosmetic change. It is a structural acknowledgement that the produce limitation was the single biggest barrier between Aldi and complete weekly shop dominance among shoppers who were already buying everything else there. The expansion brings the produce section closer to the variety level that conventional grocery stores maintain, without the pricing model that conventional grocery stores attach to fresh produce. Aldi's supply chain efficiency means the produce arriving in these expanded sections moves faster than the produce at conventional stores. Faster movement means higher average freshness at the point of purchase. Higher average freshness means better outcomes at home, less waste, and the kind of produce experience that converts produce-skeptical shoppers into permanent Aldi regulars. Former grocery industry analysts describe this expansion as the move that removes the final rational objection to completing the entire weekly shop at Aldi. Once the produce section reaches variety parity with conventional stores, the price difference on every item across the full weekly basket becomes the only comparison that matters. And that comparison has never favored the conventional store. Consider what a 40% produce expansion means in practical weekly shopping terms. The shopper who previously made 2 stops, Aldi for everything except produce, and a conventional store for the produce selection Aldi could not match, now has no rational reason for the second stop. That second stop was costing money on every item purchased there. Eliminating it does not simply save the price difference on produce. It saves the price difference on every other item that went into the conventional store cart alongside the produce. Something even more significant is waiting at number 9, and it involves a pricing decision that the grocery industry has been watching with visible discomfort since the announcement landed. Number 9. Aldi launched a price lock guarantee on 200 core items. Every major grocery chain adjusts prices weekly, sometimes daily. The pricing environment that most shoppers navigate when building a grocery budget is inherently unstable, producing the budgeting frustration that affects fixed-income households most severely. Aldi just removed that instability on 200 core items. The price lock guarantee commits Aldi to maintaining the current price on 200 of its most frequently purchased products across a 90-day guarantee window, with the commitment to match or beat any price reduction a competitor introduces on comparable items during that period. 200 items locked. 90 days of budget certainty. With a competitive price match built into the guarantee, for seniors on fixed incomes, for families managing tight monthly budgets, and for any household where the unpredictability of grocery pricing creates genuine financial stress, this guarantee changes the entire relationship between the shopper and the weekly grocery trip. It converts grocery budgeting from an exercise in estimation into a predictable calculation. The basket that costs $47 this week will cost $47 next week, and the week after, for 90 days. No adjustments, no surprises at the register. The psychological impact of price certainty on a fixed income is not a minor quality of life improvement. Financial stress research consistently identifies unpredictable essential expenses as the category most corrosive to mental health outcomes in retired and low-income populations. Grocery pricing unpredictability is one of the most frequent sources of that stress. Aldi's price lock does not simply save money. It removes an anxiety that compounds quietly across every weekly shopping trip. Conventional grocery chains cannot offer this guarantee because their pricing models depend on the flexibility that weekly adjustment provides. Aldi can offer it because their cost structure is stable enough to absorb the commitment without compromising the margin that makes the business viable. Subscribe to this channel right now. Every week, this channel tracks exactly what Aldi is doing that the rest of the grocery industry is not, and what it means for every shopper who is still paying too much somewhere else. Hit that subscribe button right now. Because what is coming at number 8 is a technology investment that grocery industry insiders are describing as the most significant operational upgrade any discount grocery chain has made in the past 5 years. Number 8. Aldi installed AI-powered freshness monitoring across all locations. What if the store knew a product was approaching its optimal freshness window before the sell-by date printed on the label? What if that knowledge triggered an automatic markdown before the quality declined rather than after? Aldi just made both of those capabilities operational across its entire store network. AI-powered freshness monitoring cameras installed above the fresh food sections analyze visual markers of freshness in produce, meat, and dairy in real time. The system identifies products approaching their optimal freshness window before the sell-by date printed on the label signals any concern. When the AI identifies an approaching freshness window, the system triggers an automatic markdown before the product quality declines rather than after. The shopper benefit is twofold. First, the shopper captures the marked down price before the product has declined in any measurable way. Second, the product reaching the shopper at the point of optimal freshness produces a better eating experience than the same product purchased on its last acceptable day at full price. Aldi shoppers are getting fresher food at lower prices simultaneously. The waste reduction implication of this system extends beyond the store's operational efficiency. When shoppers receive produce at peak freshness rather than approaching decline, the product performs better at home, across a longer window. Less produce goes unused in the refrigerator. Less money goes into a bin at the end of the week. The AI freshness system does not simply improve the store's inventory management. It improves the financial efficiency of every household it serves, because the AI is optimizing for both variables at once rather than treating them as trade-offs. Conventional grocery chains are testing this technology in pilot locations. Aldi has deployed it across the entire network. That deployment gap represents an operational advantage that will take conventional competitors years to close, even if they begin the process today. What is at number 7 is a supply chain decision that is so quietly revolutionary that most shoppers will never know it happened, but will feel the impact every single week at the register. Number 7. Aldi bypassed traditional food distributors entirely. Every conventional grocery store pays a distributor. The distributor sits between the manufacturer or grower and the store shelf, adding a margin layer to every product that passes through the system. That margin layer is not enormous on any individual item. Across the thousands of items a conventional grocery store carries, it accumulates into a cost structure that determines the floor below which conventional store prices cannot fall without eliminating the business viability of the distribution network the store depends on. Aldi just eliminated that floor. By negotiating direct supply agreements with manufacturers and growers that bypass the traditional distribution network entirely, Aldi has removed the margin layer that conventional competitors cannot remove without restructuring their entire supply chain. The result is a cost basis on incoming products that sits meaningfully below what conventional grocery chains pay for comparable items even before any efficiency advantage Aldi carries in store operations is applied. The shopper-facing implication is straightforward. Every dollar of distribution margin that Aldi removes from its cost structure is a dollar available to widen the price gap between Aldi and conventional competitors. Aldi is not simply maintaining its price advantage, it is structurally widening it through supply chain decisions that conventional competitors cannot quickly replicate. Former distribution industry insiders describe this as the supply chain move they expected someone to make eventually. And that is more disruptive now that Aldi has made it than they anticipated. What is coming at number 6 is a store format decision that the retail industry did not see coming. and what it means for the communities it is rolling out in is already generating significant conversation. Number 6. Aldi opened its first 24-hour locations in high-density markets. The grocery shopping window has always been defined by store hours. The shopper who works late, manages night shifts, or simply lives a schedule that does not align with the 9-to-9 operating model of most conventional grocery stores has always faced a choice. Adjust your schedule to the store's hours, or pay the premium that convenience stores and late-night grocery options charge for the privilege of accessing food outside the conventional window. Aldi just eliminated that choice in its first wave of 24-hour locations. High-density urban markets received the first 24-hour Aldi locations this week, with the rollout planned to extend to additional markets across the coming quarters. The pricing model inside a 24-hour Aldi is identical to the pricing model at every other Aldi. No convenience premium, no late-night markup. The same $1.25 item at 2 in the afternoon is the same $1.25 item at 2 in the morning. For healthcare workers, service industry employees, and every other shift worker whose grocery shopping window falls outside conventional store hours, this is not a convenience upgrade. It is a fundamental quality of life improvement that the pricing attached to it makes genuinely transformative. Hit the like button right now. Every move on this list is changing what grocery shopping costs and what it looks like for millions of shoppers. If what Aldi is doing is already making you reconsider where your weekly grocery budget goes, one tap is all it takes. Do it right now, because what is coming at number 5 is the customer-facing program that grocery loyalty analysts are describing as the most intelligently designed discount mechanism any grocery chain has introduced in the past decade. Number 5. Aldi launched a senior savings program with no membership fee. Most grocery loyalty programs require a membership card. Some require an annual fee. All of them require the shopper to navigate a discount structure that applies different savings to different items on different days, under conditions that are designed to be complicated enough that a meaningful percentage of eligible shoppers never capture the full benefit they are technically entitled to. Aldi's senior savings program requires none of that. Every Tuesday, shoppers 60 years of age or older receive a flat 15% discount across their entire purchase. No card required, no membership enrollment, no specific item restrictions, no digital coupon activation. Every item in the cart, 15% off, every Tuesday. The annual value of this program for a senior household spending $150 per week at Aldi across 52 Tuesdays is over $1,000 in annual savings compared to paying full shelf price. On top of Aldi's already industry-leading low shelf prices, the conventional grocery chains that offer senior discount programs typically apply the discount to specific categories, require card presentation, and limit the discount to one shopping trip per week on a specific day that may or may not align with the senior shopper's actual schedule. Aldi's program is designed around the shopper's convenience rather than the store's administrative simplicity. Former loyalty program designers describe this as the most shopper-aligned discount mechanism they have seen from any mainstream grocery chain. What is at number 4 is a private label move that the branded food industry is watching with the specific kind of attention that only emerges when a competitive threat is serious rather than theoretical. Number 4. Aldi's private label. Products are winning national quality awards. The assumption that store brand means lower quality is the belief that branded food companies depend on to justify the premium they charge for the name on the front of the package. Aldi just made that assumption untenable at the national level. Aldi's private label products won more national food quality awards in the past 12 months than any other single grocery retailer in the country. Aldi products competed directly against branded alternatives in blind evaluation panels conducted by food journalists, culinary professionals, and consumer publications. They won, not in one category, not in a handful of categories, but across categories spanning dairy, pantry staples, frozen foods, bakery, snacks, and specialty food items. The specially selected range specifically accumulated award recognitions that previously appeared only on products from premium specialty food brands at 2 to 4 times the Aldi price. Branded food companies have spent decades building the quality association that their names carry. Aldi's private label wins are not simply price competition. They are a direct challenge to the quality perception that the premium attached to branded products is supposed to be buying. When a blind evaluation panel cannot distinguish the Aldi product from the branded product at 3 times the price, the brand premium loses its only justification. Former brand managers at major food companies describe this development as the competitive dynamic they have been quietly dreading for years. The shopper who learns their preferred branded product lost a blind comparison to the Aldi private label version does not typically return to paying the premium after that knowledge lands. What is at number 3 is an environmental commitment that is simultaneously the right thing to do and one of the shrewdest competitive moves any grocery chain has made in the current retail climate. Number 3. Aldi. Achieved 100% renewable energy across all locations. Every grocery store on the planet pays an energy bill. That energy bill is a fixed operating cost that sits in the cost structure of every item on every shelf, regardless of whether the label mentions it or not. The energy cost embedded in a conventional grocery store's operating model is one of the components that determines the floor below which prices cannot fall, without eliminating the margin that keeps the lights on. Aldi just eliminated that cost component. 100% renewable energy across all Aldi locations means the energy cost that conventional competitors pay monthly is no longer a variable in Aldi's pricing equation. Solar installations across every Aldi roof, combined with renewable energy purchase agreements covering locations where on-site generation is insufficient, have produced a utility cost structure that conventional grocery chains cannot match without the capital investment Aldi has already made. The cost saving does not appear as a line item on the receipt. It appears as additional pricing headroom that Aldi can use to reduce prices further, absorb supply chain cost increases without passing them to shoppers, or invest in the operational upgrades that continue widening the gap between Aldi and conventional competitors. Conventional grocery chains are setting renewable energy targets. Aldi has already achieved the target and is now operating from the cost structure that the target was supposed to produce. That is not a marginal advantage. It is a permanent structural cost difference that compounds over every operating day going forward. The compounding nature of this advantage is the detail that grocery industry analysts find most significant. A conventional grocery chain that achieves renewable energy targets 5 years from now will begin operating from the same cost structure Aldi is already operating from today. But 5 years of operating cost differential will have already accumulated into a pricing gap that 5 years of catch-up cannot close. The advantage does not simply exist. It grows every day that conventional competitors are still paying utility costs that Aldi is not. What is coming at number 2 is the format innovation that grocery retail analysts are pointing to as the single most disruptive physical retail decision Aldi has made in its history in this market. Number 2. Aldi introduced the compact neighborhood store format in underserved communities. The food desert problem has existed in American communities for decades. Low-income, rural, and underserved urban communities without access to affordable fresh food, within reasonable distance, are not simply an inconvenient statistic. They are communities where the absence of affordable grocery access produces measurable public health outcomes, higher rates of diet-related chronic disease, higher healthcare costs, and lower quality of life metrics that persist across generations. Those outcomes are not abstract statistics. They are the lived daily experience of households managing diabetes on a food desert budget, of seniors choosing between medication and fresh vegetables because the fresh vegetables require a $30 taxi journey to access, of children whose nutritional development is shaped by whatever is available within walking distance rather than whatever would best support their growth. The compact store format is not a retail strategy in those communities. It is a public health intervention wearing a grocery store format. Conventional grocery chains have not solved this problem. The economics of operating a full-size grocery store in a low-density or low-income community do not produce the revenue that justifies the real estate and operational investment that the full-size format requires. Aldi's compact neighborhood store format changes the economics entirely. A store footprint of 4,000 to 6,000 square feet compared to the 40,000 to 60,000 square feet of a conventional grocery store requires a real estate investment and an operational cost structure that makes viability possible in communities where the full-size format never could be. The product selection in the compact format covers the 1,000 core items that Aldi's curation model identifies as covering 90% of weekly household grocery needs. Fresh produce, dairy, protein, pantry staples, frozen foods, and the essential household products that every household purchases on a recurring basis. All of it available within walking distance of communities that previously had no affordable fresh food access. The walking distance element is not a convenience feature. For communities where car ownership rates are lower and public transport access is limited, the distance to a grocery store is the variable that determines whether fresh food is a realistic daily option or an occasional achievement. A compact Aldi within walking distance in a community that previously required a 40-minute bus journey to reach affordable groceries does not simply change where people shop. It changes what people eat. And what people eat changes every health outcome attached to diet across the lifespan. The public health implications of this format extension are being discussed in nutrition research and public policy contexts that grocery store formats have rarely entered before. Former food access researchers describe this as the most significant structural intervention in food desert communities that private sector grocery retail has produced. One move remains, and it is the move that grocery industry analysts, retail consultants, and competitive strategy professionals are all pointing to as the development that explains why Kroger, Walmart, and Publix are paying closer attention to Aldi right now than to any other single competitive threat in the market. Number 1. Aldi announced a 5-year plan to become the largest grocery chain in America by store. Count the number 1 grocery chain in America by store count is not a title anyone expected Aldi to be pursuing openly on a 5-year timeline. Walmart has the revenue. Kroger has the footprint. Amazon has the technology infrastructure. None of them announced what Aldi just announced: 800 new store openings across 5 years, prioritizing the underserved markets, the suburban growth corridors, and the urban density pockets where the conventional grocery model has either never reached or has retreated from as economics shifted. 800 stores in 5 years at Aldi's operational cost structure. The implication for every conventional grocery chain in the markets where those stores land is not subtle. Every new Aldi location that opens takes a percentage of the weekly grocery spend that was previously distributed across the conventional options in that market. Not because Aldi is advertising more aggressively. Not because Aldi is running a promotional campaign that temporarily disrupts purchasing habits. Because Aldi's permanent price structure makes the conventional alternative a financially irrational choice for any household that has made the direct comparison with full information. The 5-year plan is not a marketing announcement. It is an expansion commitment backed by the capital investment, the supply chain infrastructure, and the operational model that has been stress-tested across existing locations long enough to produce the confidence that the commitment requires. Grocery industry consultants who have reviewed Aldi's expansion model describe the announcement as the moment the competitive dynamic between discount and conventional grocery shifted from a regional skirmish into a national strategic confrontation. The conventional chains that have been coexisting with Aldi's existing footprint by relying on geographic gaps in coverage are about to find those gaps closing, systematically, deliberately, at 800 locations over 5 years. For seniors managing fixed incomes, for families stretched across tight monthly budgets, and for every household that has been paying conventional grocery prices in a market where Aldi's structure was not yet accessible, the 5-year plan is not corporate strategy news. It is the arrival of a financial relief that the conventional grocery model was never going to deliver on its own. The store that opened near you last year was not an anomaly. It was the beginning of a national rollout that the grocery industry is now recognizing as the most consequential competitive development in mainstream food retail in a generation. 800 communities. 800 weekly shopping routines that currently flow toward conventional grocery chains that depend on the absence of an Aldi nearby to maintain their customer base. 800 markets where the shopper who has never made the direct comparison between Aldi pricing and conventional pricing is about to have that comparison made for them by the arrival of a store that does not need to advertise. Because the receipt at the end of the first visit does the advertising. Every time. Without exception. That is not a marketing strategy. That is a structural inevitability that 800 new locations will deliver to 800 communities on a 5-year timeline that has already begun. Former grocery industry executives with careers spanning multiple conventional chains describe this announcement as the one that changed their internal assessment of the competitive landscape more significantly than anything in the past 20 years. The shopper who understands what this means does not wait for the new Aldi to open. They find the nearest existing location. They walk through the door with the information that most shoppers still do not have. And they fill their cart with the knowledge that what they are paying is not a temporary promotion. It is the permanent price of a grocery model that just committed to reaching 800 more communities over the next 5 years. Wednesday morning, before the crowds arrive. This is the store that every other grocery store is worried about, and now you know exactly why. That is the complete list. 10 moves that explain why every major grocery chain is studying Aldi right now. The grocery store that every other grocery store is worried about just told the world exactly what it plans to do next. Walk through the door before 800 more communities find out what you already know. Thanks for watching. Tell us in the comments which of these moves surprised you most and whether there is an Aldi near you that you have been sleeping on. Click the next video showing on the left right now to keep discovering everything Aldi is doing that the rest of the grocery industry would prefer you never found out about. And if you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss the next development that changes what your weekly grocery bill looks like.